My life is now complete, guys. We are about to witness the last resort Porygon. I'm happy. I want to know how the Porygon Z conversion last resort shenanigans are in the new generation of Pokemon. So we got the top Keck, and I can imagine there are many Kecks to be had when you are going for the last resort. Also, Lap Dance as the name for the Oricorio. I understand with the Dancer, that's kind of crazy right there, but that's going to be a Void as we go straight into the Z shenanigans for the Porygon. That's really all it is. Also, I like that it's a 6v6 battle, so we can really just kind of see the everything that Porygon hopefully destroys. So Z conversion is going to fail because you want to do it for the last resort, or the conversion itself. You're already normal type Pokemon, and that's what we're looking at. So +2 or +1 to all the stats, which means Porygon now outspeeds everything, outdunks everything, and the overall damage is just absolutely insane. So if anything, the next 10 minutes are just going to be battles of this. Porygon sets up, outspeeds the thing, and then kills the thing. But there's still a Focus Sash. There's a chance that something could go wrong, and it will be the Quiver Dance on the Volcarona. But I'd imagine that Volcarona is a bit more defensive, and Porygon will just outspeed anyways. You go for that Jolly Porygon, +1 on the speed, and it's untouchable. Unless you speed tie with the Volcarona, and the Fire Blast misses, and the last resort is still going to be, well, it was already enough damage. But now the Burn, oh! So there is trouble in paradise, apparently, as the Burn will set back the last resort on the Porygon quite a bit. But we still have the durability, the +1 to defenses, so we can also see what Porygon ends up surviving to then snowball into some other craziness. And there we go. So that is going to be the Mega Stone. So Mega Metagross pulling those shenanigans into the Porygon. Porygon still has last resort, so resisted halved attack. Yeah, I guess that means it would have been a 2-hit KO, so we're just going to get Power Punched on by the Porygon. Solid hit overall. Alright, so it looks like it's not just going to be straight up Porygon sweeps. These are real battles, but overall, Porygon has done more than enough work as is, that we've already taken out quite a few Pokemon, and if the name of the game is going +2 and then winning, that's what you can get out of it. So if it wasn't for the Burn, Mega Metagross would just be dead right there. The Power Punch will be enough to take it down. And now Metagross is actually a pretty big problem to deal with. So we're going to see how that happens with the Salamence. Alright. So Salamence with the Intimidate, only going to dial back the Mega Metagross to +1. So it doesn't get any more insane. But it is a Mega Salamence. In response to the Mega Metagross, Mega Salamence gets an insane amount of defense. So it seems like a pretty fair way of dealing with the Metagross, and Salamence just outspeeds into an Earthquake. That too, because Metagross just throwing the +1 Bullet Punch isn't really going to accomplish much. I guess it's free damage instead of just straight up dying to the Salamence, but that's kind of the trade-off that we have right there. And then you just look at the rest of the team comp. We got like a Toxapex going on, we have the Porygon, we have the Salamence. Salamence is just going to come in and wipe out this Togedemaru. And that's just how it is. So I imagine there isn't much left to this battle. The 6v6 battles, I haven't done a 6v6 battle in a while, so I gotta learn to pace out that commentary a lot better. But the Sturdy into the Salac Berry into the workup. Never mind, this Togedemaru might be onto something. Boost Berry Togedemaru with the workup means that, yeah, now it has attack to utilize. It can kind of do whatever, and it chooses the Nuzzle. So outspeed into the Nuzzle on the Salamence. There's a chance that the paralysis could come through. And there it is. Full paralysis. Never mind. The shenanigans are going to swing this battle as we go into Zing Zap. And that is the Salac Berry Zing Zap Paraflinch. Not going to be enough damage to take down the Salamence. Not going to be enough damage or any kind of flinch on top of it. But an interesting little strategy to kind of put Togedemaru ahead of a lot of other Pokemon with that Sturdy ability. And now we have that. Oh, I get it. Okay. So, we got a Hawlucha in play right now with the Stone Edge, and that's going to be enough to just KO the Salamence. After the paralysis, Salamence isn't super useful anymore, and now we're going to see where this ends up going. So, Life Orb on the Hawlucha. So, Life Orb on the Hawlucha has a lot of damage potential, and that is going to be a Stone Edge onto the Aegislash. Doesn't really get a lot of damage on, and Hawlucha can't really do much else. The Fighting type moves will not land. So straight up stance change into the Shadow Ball. So we have a special Aegis Slash for that damage right there, and it will be enough to take out the Hawlucha. And it looks like this battle is pretty much over at this point. I believe it's last Pokemon. Oh no. Well, that also tells me that the opponent most likely hacking, because very high amount of shinies. The shiny Love Ball Metagross is a little questionable, and then going into the shiny Azelf. So yeah, that's going to be a King Shield right there. And then we have a Fire Punch. So the Fire Punch being protected, and then it's just Shadow Ball straight into a KO. So not getting too greedy right there, playing it defensively, and then turning it into something. But the Fire Punch, almost enough. Critical hit, I was about to say, that seems like a lot for a -2. Critical hit into the weakness policy, into the shenanigans, and that is going to be a KO. So, Life Orb looks to be Smogon rules, because I believe that was double Life Orb for the opponent with like the Hawlucha and whatever. So then we're going into Shadow Ball, and that will be the end of the battle right there. So looks like we got a bit more to check out with the Porygon Z into Last Resort, but it just took the ultimate defiance of the gods right there to take it down. Had to be burned into the Mega Metagross, and it looks like Mega Metagross could have gone down to the Porygon even without the burn. So let's go into the next battle and see what happens. Well then, that's a Corphish. It looks like we're not only getting our requirement for Last Resort this week, but we are finding a little bit of that Little Cup love, which has actually been fairly absent in the 7th generation. So turning it around right here, but I'm wondering if this is going to be a Porygon battle or a Corphish battle. Corphish is just going to get like slapped around, and then it doesn't even matter. But yeah, the Last Resort Porygon on the battle spot, that is also something I want to see. Just the pure amount of devastation that you can inflict onto someone else. The Energy Ball Primarina, I'm actually interested in those odds, and it looks like Corphish just straight dies to a critical hit before anything matters. Okay then, Porygon, time for you to save the day, as I actually look up how many people are running the Primarina with that Energy Ball as well. And then we go into the Z conversion, so fun stuff is going to happen. Boosted its stats, unleashes full Z-Force move, and it does nothing. Now, the opponent might be looking at him like, well, he just failed a Z move, so what do we have right now? Energy Ball, solid hit, but not enough to really take... Oh, wow, that had to have been Specs then, as we just outspeed Dunk into the Last Resort. So all you have to do is survive. You know, you just survive that Z conversion turn, and then the opponent really can't do much of anything to you. It's the Chestnut right now. Could Spiky Shield, could just die, so that's going to be Porygon into Last Resort. Chestnut is a very heavy Pokemon when it comes to those stats. That's going to be a KO regardless, and then just kind of waiting for that next Pokemon. The Goodra, again, tanky Pokemon, not as physically defensive, but sometimes you see it kind of just mix in hit points with defense investment to kind of ride off the back of its unnaturally high special defense, and that's it. Those are the Porygon sweeps, guys. So let's go and line up another one of those. Alright, and it's going to be another battle spot battle, so I'm just guessing it's going to end pretty quickly, and yeah, let's just watch what else the Porygon takes down, because I love that this is what it needed. Like, the Z conversion covers up for so many things on the Porygon that what we're used to seeing is something like the agility, you know? You go agility, Last Resort, but then you kind of lack on damage, or you're still also worrying about durability from getting hit on those setup turns, or just protect Last Resort from the Porygon with a Life Orb, but then you do have to worry about things outspeeding you. That Intimidate is actually going to suck a little. So Porygon switching out, knowing that that is the Porygon win condition, and you just, like, it's so cool. We're watching so many different things happen, because pretty much what the Z Last Resort Porygon lets you do is whatever you want. That it's the do whatever button, I'll bail you out in the end. Just make sure you can try to clear up any of the Ghost-type Pokemon your opponent might have, then you win. No Ghost types, and Porygon will be able to just wreck house. So that's going to be some pretty good stuff right there. Salamence is in. Still going to go for that Mega Evolution right there, so we're going to see how this turns out. But again, yeah, like, just throw out moves, throw out a Mega Pokemon, have some fun, and then Porygon is there when things get serious. So Dazzling Gleam from the Tapu Koko, going to go for the mad damage, and Salamence will go down. So we're going to see if this is going to be set up into the Tapu Koko with the Porygon Z. Yes, it is. So, I guess, you know, wow, the opponent's actually going to withdraw. I was about to say, I guess Porygon just barely survives those numbers, and then things are going to happen. But bringing in the Politoed. So, Drizzle now with the electric terrain and whatever, so he decided to take on the Porygon with the Politoed, and that's just going to be the Z conversion. So that's why I like, you know, we got transfer now. Because of the Pokemon Bank, anything is possible. You don't know when that Porygon Z is going to go Z conversion into special attacks or Z conversion into the last resort. And now we just go and watch some stuff happen. So that's Outspeed, that's Last Resort, that's going to be Politoed pretty much dead no matter what. Even like full hit point investment, I'm pretty sure Porygon will win that one. Going into Luxray, so the Intimidate going to be there, going to be a little bit of an issue, but after scouting the full team, even +0 Last Resort, if that takes out Luxray, I'm going to be like very content about that one. And now that Last Resort has, or now that the Z move has been used, just have to stick to it, but Luxray still goes down. Tapu Koko going to get outsped, going to go down. Electricity disappears. So let's go bring in Tapu Koko and be able to get that electricity back, which is alright. And then the things happen. So let's see how this breaks down. Porygon Z should outspeed, even with like Adamant Nature. Like you just get so much speed on that +1. And then Tapu Koko will survive on the Focus Sash. So Focus Sash seems to be a problem, but now we have enough special defense. Oh no, we get the critical hit taking us down. Alright, I was about to say the special defense boost should help us out, but no, the critical hit right there. And then that will be the Aegislash, Shadow Sneak, game. That's another thing, just bring in the Aegislash. That way you can win even if there's a Focus Sash that undoes everything at the end right there. So stance change, Shadow Sneak, doesn't matter because now he can't protect forever. Eventually the Shadow Sneak will take him down, and that is going to be the end of the battle right there. So it's really interesting when it comes down to the Z Last Resort Porygon, that I just wanted to see it. I just wanted to see it in real life because it's amazing that Last Resort combos with the Z move, that you Z one move and then you're allowed to Last Resort. So that works for any Pokemon, you know, Extreme Evo Boost on the Eevee into Last Resort. That's definitely a possibility that people start running that. I mean, they all get adaptability, they all get insane stats, and then things just get pretty crazy from there. So to end this video, I want to go and show some damage calculations. Like, one weird thing about this video is for how hype I was. Like, I've been desperately wanting to see this. I've just been wanting the confirmation that the Z Porygon is that clean, and yeah, it is. And we could have done this through some damage calculations. Now, I've already experimented with these in my own personal time. I think I might have thrown them in some videos recently-ish. Like, I don't remember if I did Z Porygon or I was talking about the Last Resort, and I remember I did like just a Last Resort video by itself. And then we do have this video going back to April, so actually a very long time ago when this was discovered. But this is where all my hype was, guys. This is when I had my mind absolutely blown by, oh, you can take Porygon and then Last Resort it with insane shenanigans under all kinds of like Tailwind boosting and doubles, and then it adapted into singles, and then the damage just became outrageous. But yeah, going back to like, this is everything that Porygon wanted. That you adaptability with the Adamant Nature, you go +1 off of your Last Resort, the Z move sets it up for free, and now you're pretty much just outspeeding everything forever while doing crazy, crazy amounts of damage. It's just beautiful, guys. It's so beautiful. And then like if we have our speed boosting and then we gain stats, so yeah, that's going to be enough to outspeed 135 base speed Pokemon and even higher than that. And then if we have just our damage numbers right here, Garchomp with a Life Orb into our +1 defense should not be enough to take us down. So that's a pretty awesome thing right there. And it just shows the survivability that we get extra bulk, and then we get enough to just one-shot something like a Garchomp, even though Garchomp is like really heavy on the hit points, really heavy on the defense. That's kind of it. So I'm more just like, I'm just confident now. I'm just speaking like I'm just speaking like I saw it, I'm proud, it's awesome, and that's it. I've already had my, oh my god, this is the most insane thing ever. I think we've gotten to the point where Last Resort probably can't surprise me because it surprised me so much. I've even used it for myself, like Fake Out Last Resort Ambipom, Fake Out Last Resort Lopunny. There's so much beauty inside of the Last Resort. Like I said, I did a separate video. This is just a breakdown on only Last Resort Pokemon and their damage output. And then Porygon, like it's getting a Scarf, a Band, and Last Resort all in one with that Z conversion. Oh, absolutely beautiful. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching. Also, this is the End Fan Fridays, so please comment down below your battle code. You guys also have a great weekend. Enjoy your week. Everything awesome, and that is all there is to it.